Question 2. This question is about the circulatory system. Figure 1 shows the human heart. We are looking at the deoxygenated blood coming from the inferior vena cava here, and this one will be superior vena cava. This is coming from the head, and this is coming from the rest of the body, and then comes into the right atrium here. This is the blood without oxygen, deoxygenated blood, and then it goes into the right atrium, and then goes and then pump down to the right ventricle, then go through the valve here, through the pulmonary to the lungs, where it picks up oxygen, comes back into the left atrium here, pushes it down to the left ventricle, and then up through the aorta to the rest of the body. So we have deoxygenated blood here, that means no oxygen, and then in here is the oxygenated blood with oxygen. And now let's look at what the question has got to say. Question 2.1. Which part of the heart receives oxygenated blood from the lungs? So oxygenated blood will be A. So we're expecting that to be A. And question number 2.2, which part of the heart pumps deoxygenated blood to the lungs? Well, that's got to be the C here, isn't it? So it goes into right atrium, then to the right ventricle, then from there goes to the lungs. So we're expecting that to be C. Question 2.3, a group of cells called the pacemaker controls the resting heart rate. Where in the heart is the pacemaker found? So, well, the natural pacemaker here is here, where it sends a signal to the right atrium to push the blood down to the right ventricle. So it should be in D, and D is right atrium. 2.4, figure 2 shows a cross-section of an artery and of a vein. So this is the artery here, and this is a vein. You can see that the tissue here is thick here, and the lumen is small. The lumen is big here, the tissue here is thin. Describe 2 ways the structure of an artery is different from the structure of a vein. 2 marks. We're expecting the artery has a thicker muscle or tissue. The artery has a narrower lumen, so smaller lumen. The artery does not contain valves. Question 2.5. In coronary heart disease, the coronary arteries becomes narrower. A buildup of fatty material can cause a blockage in a coronary artery. Table 2 shows how a blockage in a coronary artery affects blood flow. And here is the table 2. You got the percentage of coronary artery that is blocked. So no blockage, 100 flow rate. When 10% is blocked, 64 flow rate. When 20% is blocked, 42 flow rate. When 50% is blocked, 8 flow rate. And when 80% is blocked, 2 flow rate. The flow rate in this case is the volume over minute. Describe the trend shown in table 2. For table 2, we increase in percentage of coronary artery that is blocked led to decrease in rate of blood flow. That's what we see there, because you can see as the coronary artery blockage increases, the blood flow rate is decreasing. Question 2.6. Complete figure 3. Here's figure 3. You should use a suitable scale for the y-axis. Plot the data from table 2. Draw a line of best fit. So why don't we get the table 2 data here? It's the table 2 data here. We can see, so we're going to plot that. So this is your y values. So that's the y, the blood flow rate. That will be your x values. So the x value has been done for us. We just need to do the y values. We're going from, for the y value, we're going from 2 to 100. So practically we can start from 0. So that's what we're doing. So I'm going to call that 0, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. So 0, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Now to plot the data, so I got the data here. When that is 0, this is 100. So when the percentage blockage is 0, it will be 100. Now when this one is 10, that is 64. Well, so that's 10. We want 64. That's 60. Each little square is 2. So 62, 64. When this one is 20, that's 42. So we're looking for 20 and 42 because each little square is 2. So that's 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So 42 will be here. So that's 42. When it is 50, it is 8. For 50 and 8 is here. When it's 80, we have 2. So that's 82. Now what we need to do is join the lines together in a nice curve. So that's what we expect to do. And now let's go to question 2.7. Predict the blood flow in a coronary artery with a 35% blockage. So we're looking for 35. That's 30. 35 here. Draw that. And that's 35 here. And then we can draw that. Okay. So that's for me, it's 22. Next one is question 2.8. Explain the effect of a partly blocked coronary artery on the human body. So we can say first is to reduce blood flow rate, less oxygen gas, less glucose. We have less aerobic respiration in heart or cell, more anaerobic respiration, less energy is released, less muscle contraction. We have less blood oxygen and glucose around the body, less carbon dioxide removed from the body. You get breathlessness, you get tiredness, lactic acid buildup, more fatigue and pain. Question 2.9. There are different treatments for a blockage in a coronary artery. Explain how one treatment for a blockage in a coronary artery works. We insert stents to open coronary artery and prescribe statins to reduce blood cholesterol, heart and lung transplant to replace the diseased heart with a healthy heart, use an artificial heart to keep the patient alive while waiting for a transplant, artery and heart bypass to divert blood around the blockage,